new pick for Education Secretary for President-elect Barack Obama is Arne Duncan. Now, some people are very happy with this pick, and some people are not. Stephen Levitt, the author of Freakonomics, says he thinks it's as good a pick as you can imagine. Here, I'll give you a direct quote from him. He says, "If you wanted to start from scratch and build a public servant, Arne would be the end product." So, high praise for some people. And they love the way that he ran the Chicago public schools, very much open to suggestions, open to criticism, open to changing things, and open to both sides. So a lot of high praise for this Education Secretary pick. Now, the Young Turks was angling for Howard Dean, but this Arne Duncan guy seems like a lovely guy, so we'll take it. We were angling for it because Howard Dean was on the show, and we thought he meant that he wanted the seat, and we like Howard Dean. Anyway, but apparently Duncan does have some detractors. Shockingly enough, they're conservative, and they are concerned about Pride Campus that he did in Chicago. Now, did he do it? Was it his idea? No. In fact, after meeting with some priests, he amended it in some ways. But they did authorize it under his watch. And what is Pride Campus? It's a high school that allows for an environment where gay and lesbian students can learn without intimidation and without, honestly, threats and sometimes abuse. So, obviously, this gets under conservative skin. They're like, what? You're going to let gay kids go to high school without getting beat up? What the hell is this? Ah, this is America going to hell in a handbasket. We can't even beat up the gays in school anymore. Now, putting the kidding aside, it's a real serious issue. In 2005, Chicago Public Schools survey found out that lesbian, gay, and bisexual students were twice as likely as straight students to be threatened at school. Much worse, 2 to 4 times more likely to report being treated for an injury resulting from a fight, 2 to 4 times more likely to be victim of sexual assault. The survey also found that lesbian, gay, and bisexual teens were 3 to 4 times more likely than straight students to report attempting suicide. And the survey didn't even include transgendered youth. So, obviously, gay, lesbian, and bisexual students are having some issues in schools. And if you're one of those students, you're listening to the show right now, you're thinking, of course! Who doesn't know that gay guys get picked on in school and sometimes get beat up and are intimidated and threatened a lot of times? So they set up this Pride Campus so they can have a safe environment to learn in. Now, some people might say, oh, but this just open environment doesn't mean that it's a gay high school. Look, here at the Young Turks, we keep it real. It's called Pride Campus. It's a gay high school. I mean, it's not like you're going to be like, hey, yeah, sure. No, there'll be no stigma to sending my straight kids there. Now, if you do, I love you for it, and you should, and you're a wonderful liberal and all that stuff. But will the kids think that it's a gay high school? Of course they will, obviously, right? But so what? So they get to study in an environment. Now, look, in my ideal world, you don't have gay high schools and straight high schools and all these other splinter high schools for different ethnicities or races or groups. I grew up in a public school in New Jersey that had a lot of things mixed in there. We definitely had gay students and straight students, and it worked out relatively okay. But, you know, look, that was a wonderful little environment and bubble that we grew up in. But if I'm one of the kids who is threatened and can't study because I'm getting physically assaulted, then I love to have an option of Pride Campus. So, look, I'm not sure that that's our ideal down the road, but am I going to be against Arne Duncan because he wanted to protect those kids and give them an environment that they could learn in? Come on, man. Who in their right mind would? Well, of course, the answer is no one in their right mind, but the conservatives aren't in their right mind. So they're up in arms over this, and they're saying this is going to be real trouble when it comes to those confirmation hearings. Look, I suspect it will, and I suspect that they might get some trouble. But in the long run, I think if they go after him for this, the Republicans, as usual, will do more damage to themselves than anything else. Why? Again, they're going to be seen as the intolerant party, the party fighting against whether it's rights or the kids' ability to learn. It's just going to come out looking ugly. So that's what the Republicans do, though. They do ugly. I'd say I wish them luck, but I definitely don't. And I hope Arne Duncan gets confirmed. He seems to be, by all reasonable accounts, a guy who really cares about education, can do some great things in that field.